Maximize your online presence with SEO consulting services. Why online visibility now decides who makes the shortlist. B2B buyers aren't waiting for a pitch to understand their options. They're searching, comparing, and building confidence in a few vendors before your SDR team ever gets a chance to influence the deal. That shift shows up clearly in the traffic mix. Organic search drives about 64% of B2B website traffic on average. If you're not visible on the searches that define your category, you're not just missing clicks, you're missing the earliest and often most decisive moments of evaluation. And visibility alone isn't enough. With 81% of B2B buyers choosing a preferred vendor before speaking with sales, your site has to do real selling, answer objections, prove credibility, and make the next step obvious. SEO consulting services exist to make that happen in a measurable way, tied to pipeline instead of vanity metrics. What SEO consulting services really deliver for B2B revenue? SEO consulting is often described like a marketing project, but the best engagements operate like a revenue function. The consultant should sit alongside sales, marketing, and RevOps with access to CRM data so they can prove which pages and keywords are driving CQLs, opportunities, and closed won, not just rankings. The upside is significant because organic doesn't just bring volume, it brings intent. Recent reporting attributes roughly 44.6% of B2B revenue to organic search, which is why SEO is now a core growth lever rather than a nice-to-have channel. From a sales leader's perspective, conversion quality is the real story. SEO leads have been reported to close at 14.6% versus about 1.7% for traditional outbound, meaning search-driven opportunities are roughly 8 to 9 times more likely to become customers. That doesn't replace outbound sales agency work, but it does change how we prioritize. SEO should feed your best outbound motion, not compete with it. Build an intent map that mirrors how prospects actually buy. Most B2B journeys start with a generic, problem-focused query, not a branded search. Data puts that number around 71%, which is why an effective SEO consultant doesn't begin with a giant keyword spreadsheet. They begin by categorizing keywords by intent and buying stage: problem, solution, vendor, product. This is also where sales involvement becomes non-negotiable. Your SDRs and AEs hear the real language buyers use, things that never appear in keyword tools, and that language should shape page copy and content topics. When we connect that intel to SEO, we can create pages that match how people search for a B2B sales agency, evaluate sales outsourcing, or compare an outsourced sales team versus hiring internally. To make the approach operational, we recommend documenting a keyword to revenue map. Each priority cluster is owned by a page or set of pages. Each page has a clear CTA, and each CTA is tracked into the CRM. That's how SEO consulting stops being content production and becomes a pipeline system. Implement SEO like a revenue sprint, not a never-ending project. A strong SEO consulting engagement typically starts with technical and structural cleanup, because technical debt quietly throttles both rankings and conversions. Site speed, crawl errors, internal linking, and mobile usability aren't nice-to-fix items. They determine whether high-intent buyers can even reach and trust your offer. Next comes page-level execution, tightening messaging, improving information architecture, and aligning content with buyer stages. If your team offers a cold calling agency, cold calling services, or a cold email agency solution, the SEO consultant should help build and optimize pages that address decision criteria, comparisons, and outcomes, not just definitions. Finally, we like a quarterly sprint model aligned to your sales cycle. Within 60 to 90 days, you should be able to measure leading indicators, rankings for target terms, growth in high-intent page views, more demo requests. And then validate pipeline impact in the following months as those accounts convert into CQLs and opportunities. If your SEO reporting can't explain what it produced in meetings, opportunities, and revenue, you don't have an SEO program. You have a content hobby. Operational best practices. Make SEO and SDR execution reinforce each other. The fastest wins usually come when SEO and SDR programs share intelligence. Your consultant should deliver a monthly digest of the organic pages and queries that are driving demo requests, pricing page visits, and other high-intent behavior. And your sales development agency motion should mirror that language in cold email, LinkedIn outreach services, and call openers. This is also where measurement maturity matters. Instead of reporting only traffic and rankings, align on a small set of revenue KPIs and show them consistently. A simple dashboard that connects analytics to CRM is often enough to keep everyone honest and focused. Use a structured view to keep reporting scannable and comparable across time. The goal isn't more metrics, it's shared accountability for pipeline outcomes. Common mistakes that kill SEO ROI and how to fix them. The most common failure is running SEO in a silo with no sales involvement. When that happens, teams publish content that ranks but doesn't address real objections, security requirements, implementation risk, or internal approval dynamics. So it attracts visitors who won't convert and frustrates the reps who have to qualify them. Another predictable miss is chasing vanity metrics, impressions, broad non-branded traffic, and top-of-funnel keyword wins that don't translate into pipeline. You can grow visits and still miss quota if the traffic isn't tied to bottom and mid-funnel intent like comparisons, alternatives, implementation, and cost. Finally, be careful about hiring the cheapest provider and expecting enterprise outcomes. Low-cost SEO often relies on templates or risky link tactics that don't build authority with decision-makers. A credible consultant can speak pipeline, show B2B case studies, and collaborate with your outbound sales agency or SDR agency's partners so inbound demand becomes booked meetings, not just website sessions. Optimization levers: win the click, then win the conversion. Ranking somewhere isn't a plan because clicks drop sharply as you move down the page. One 2025 analysis showed the first organic result earning about 28.5% average CTR, which means small ranking gains near the top can create outsized traffic impact compared to moving from page 4 to page 3. But even great rankings can underperform if conversion paths are weak. A great SEO consultant will obsess over CRO, clearer CTAs, fewer form fields, better page structure, and messaging that speaks directly to the buyer stage. In practice, we often see more pipeline lift from tightening 1 or 2 high-intent pages than from publishing 5 new blog posts. Authority also matters, especially in competitive categories like sales outsourcing, B2B cold calling services, and pay-per-meeting lead generation. Link strategies should focus on credibility, industry publications, partner ecosystems, and proof assets, so your site earns trust signals that help both rankings and buyer confidence. What to do next? A practical 90-day plan to prove pipeline impact. To make SEO consulting measurable fast, start with a baseline audit that includes sales. Review Search Console and analytics, then cross-check CRM data to identify which pages and queries are already producing opportunities. This is where you'll find quick wins like a high-intent page ranking in positions 6 to 12 that could jump with a technical fix and improved on-page messaging. Then, run a focus pilot on one ICP or segment. Clean up technical blockers, publish or rebuild a small set of intent-matched pages and run conversion experiments on the pages closest to revenue. Case studies regularly show that expert guidance can materially move the needle, including one example reporting a 197% year-over-year increase in organic traffic after engaging an SEO consultant. Finally, build the operating system, a monthly SEO sales workshop to capture real objection language, a shared dashboard that tracks organic to pipeline, and a feedback loop that keeps content aligned with deals. When you pair that inbound engine with outbound execution, whether you hire SDRs internally or work with a partner like our team at SalesHive, you create a compounding effect where visibility drives awareness and your outbound motion converts that awareness into conversations.